If you haven't seen it already, guys, we bought this little Hyundai i10 off of Chop's Garage down in Devon, and the reason we buy these is they're great little retailers. They sell dead easy, we never have any comeback on them, there's very few common problems with them. The biggest problem I tend to find with them is bumper scuffs, and in the last video I took the two bumpers off of your Hyundai, I repaired them all, I plastic welded them, we filled them, we showed you how to repair them nice and strong, and we got them into filler primer. In today's video we need to get them into paint, so what I've done off camera is already rubbed these down, because if you remember, if you've seen the first video, these were covered in lacquer peel all over the top. This side had a huge crack in it, it was all split down here, it had a massive crack all the way up here, and on the back bumper it was much the same, it was all cracked, it was split, it looked like it had been a rough cast wall, so as you can see they've all been fixed as well. So we're at the stage now, this is filler primer, this is what you put on after your repairs. So what we now need to do in this video is obviously get them in paint, but the first stage of doing that is to wet sand the filler primer. Now, while I was doing the lacquer peel, I used my DA with a 400 grit sandpaper on it with the intermediate pad, buzzed over the whole bumper. I also buzzed over the areas that have been filler primered very, very quickly and very, very carefully. I do that because I've got a bit of experience and I like to do that, and it just makes the process quicker for me. If it's the first time you've done it, I would wet sand the whole thing with an 800 grit or a 600 grit depending on what colour you're painting. So this, instead of taking me an hour to wet sand, is only probably going to take me 10 minutes, and I'm literally going to use these little pads. I love these little soft foam pads. One's like a 600 grit, one's like an 800 to 1000 grit. They are soft and pliable, so they contour in the corners and things. You can get them wet, they dry dead quick. Super easy to use, and they're not very expensive. So go to your local paint supplier, they'll have these, a couple of £2 each. Well worth it if you're doing a load of bumper scuffs. But yeah, I'm going to throw this on a bit of a time lapse, quickly wet sand these, and then we'll take you through the next process. Sanding is all completely done. In that time lapse you seen me wet sand the filler primer. Also I took a Scotch pad, I tried to show it in the time lapse, but I took a normal grey Scotch pad and I done all the little edges that you can't get into with the sander. So what we're ready to do now is start building up layers of paint. Now this paint calls for a white primer. Now on your paint tin that you get for your spray store or wherever you go, it will normally say on the bottom, use white primer, use grey primer, use dark primer, or something along those lines. This one needs white, so we're going to go over it with just a white primer or a sealer. Now the only difference is, this isn't a sandable primer, so you just spray this on, you leave it, once it's flashed, you're ready for base coat. So let's load it up with this, we'll try and get it in one coat, might need two, we'll see how it goes. Right guys, that's the white primer on. I only got one can of white primer, so I did try and spread it out fairly thin. I made sure I got good coverage on where the repairs are, but now everything's in white and it's ready for its red base coat. And for that, I'm going to use my new ANI spray gun that I treat myself to. It's not actually the one I wanted, but it's the one that's in budget at the minute. So these came highly recommended by the Gunman, Paint Society, Spray Guns Direct herself. So yeah, let's give it a go. I'll need to try and set it up first. I've not used it yet, so I'll need to set up the fan, play a bit with the paint volume and stuff, but I'm sure we'll get there. Let's see how this goes. Right guys, there we go. The new ANI gun laid down the perfect coatsy base coat. We did get a wee bit of a reaction here. I gave it a quick scuff, another wee couple of light coats, and it seems to be okay. So now that we've got 2-3 coatsy base coat on these, we're ready to put the lacquer on. As always guys, the first coat, you're not looking for a perfect finish, you're only looking to get some product on there, let it tack up a bit, and then you can glass in your second coat. So this will be a bit different because obviously it's a new gun to me. I'm used to my other one, so we'll need to try and play a bit with the settings a wee bit and try and dial it in a bit. But hopefully we can get some nice coatsy clear on this and they'll look great. Right, it's the next day, the bumpers are all done. I've got them out here baking in the sunshine. As you can see, they're looking half decent. They're actually quite good. I'm not 100% happy with the clear coat on them, but I bought the cheapest clear coat ever. It's like 70 odd pound for 5 litres. So it's not exactly show car finish, it has died back a wee bit. It's still glossy enough for the car because the car's like 13 years old. As you can see, I mean, this has had a good wash. I've just gave it a wash and I've washed all the plastics ready to rebuild the bumpers. But it is a 13-year-old car, the paint's a wee bit flat. I've gave it a good wash under the bumpers and everything, whether it's here and the wheel arches. So it's no perfect paint anyway. And if I made them look perfect, they're just going to look oddball on the car. So, like, sometimes I think it's better just to have an imperfect finish because it matches the car really. And well, these are used cars we're selling, so people weren't expecting brand new cars. They're sort of sub £4 cars. Nobody's expecting perfection. So apart from the odd one, you do get the odd one right enough. But yeah, that's clean. These are done. It's time to get all the trims back on and we'll get them back in the car, and that should only take me about an hour. So yeah, we'll start with the back bumper. We'll let the front bake in the sun for a bit longer. We'll put the reflectors in the back and mount the back bumper up. Right guys, sorry about that, I had a wee break for the rain. All of a sudden it came out of nowhere again and started chucking it down, so I've got the wee Hyundai in front of me. It looks okay. There's a very slight difference in the colour, but they do need a wee polish. Maybe a wee extra coat of red base coat would have helped. But for the year of car, for the age of car, for what we're asking for the car, it's absolutely fine. So here she is. Looking at it outside in the light, the bumpers look to me ever so slightly lighter. On camera, it's no as noticeable. Probably the untrained eye wouldn't see it. Probably somebody buying this car at this price point isn't going to care, because at this point they're looking for mechanical reliability and no really so much cosmetic stuff. So if you can remember rightly, this whole bumper was cracked all up here under the light, it was cracked down the bottom. Had a crack round the front grille. This side was all scuffed. As you can see, all of that is now repaired and it looks so much better. So much better. Coming from the back, if you remember, this side looked like it had a fight with a rough cast wall, and that's all perfect now. Along here, it was all scratched and stuff with people loading the boot. Again, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. This side here had the big line straight in it where it reversed into like the corner of a wall. Again, it's all sorted. And it just looks so much more presentable. There's a wee tiny bit of polishing here I need to do. That's white paint that's obviously been brushed up against something else. So yeah, it needs a machine polish. It needs a detail, because the inside still needs a clean. But this is going to get the usual treatment. It's going to get the full machine polish, the 1 year ceramic coating, it's going to get the wet vac inside. As you know, if you'd seen the videos already, we've done the cooling and everything on it. So that's all done. We're also going to service it. I'll throw some new plugs in it. It's going to have a 12-month MOT. So it's going to be a perfect little runabout for a first driver, a second car, a little commuter car to get back and forward to work. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that money for it. And all said and done, I think actually it's only got 55,000 miles on it as well. I forgot to mention that. So really well looked after, other than the scuffs and stuff in the bumper, but we've sorted them. It's a sorted little car, and I'm going to be asking, I think 3195, something like that, and I think it's worth every penny of that. Auto Trader I think said it was about 3.5. So yeah, I'm going to put it up at 3195, see if there's any takers, and yeah, sorted little car for somebody. So I'm not going to show you the whole valeting video. What I'll do is in the next video, when I'm looking at, we've got a little Citroen C1 over there I'm going to show you. That's the next project for stock, and we'll maybe revisit the Chevrolet Spark again as well. And yeah, so lots going on. I'm not going to show you the detailing video because we've showed you that a million times. I'll probably just give you an update in the next video when we're on to the next one. So listen guys, I appreciate every bit of support you've ever given me, but if you found any value in this video at all, please hit the thumbs up button, because it helps the algorithm, it helps it get out to the people that wants to see this type of content. So if you can just do me a favour, hit the thumbs up button, I'd really appreciate that, and we can grow this second channel as well, and I can keep helping you with all these hints and tips. And remember, if you want to see any of the project car builds like the 86 Scirocco, the Micra, the V8 Audi S5, head over to our main home built garage channel, because that's where you'll see all of that stuff. Thanks again for watching guys, we'll see you next time.